It's Thursday, February 28. Here's what's making the news. The Court of Appeal has set March 15 to hear the appeal of the Acting Chief Justice's ruling on the December 21 vote.
The hearing of an application for an interim stay of the Chief Justice's ruling on January 31 and a conservatory order preserving the status quo ante that the President and the Cabinet remain in office was brought before Judge Rishi Prasad today. Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Basil Williams made it clear that there will be no constitutional crisis if the opposition leader does not meet with the President within the 90-day period.
There is no drop-dead date after 90 days. There were two options given inside that same provision. It means that the section contemplates after 90 days without an election, you move to the stage where the two parties talk to get a two-thirds majority. That has to be a process. And so they must have recognized that it couldn't be 90 days exactly.
The Attorney General explained that the government cannot conduct an election, but rather it is the Guyana Election Commission who has to do so based on its readiness.
Our contention is that 106.7 is an erroneous provision. Why is it erroneous? Because it purports to repose in the government the conduct of elections. And the government does not have the conduct of elections. The party given the conduct of elections by our constitution is the Guyana Elections Commission. And there are a set of provisions dealing with that, to 161 to 162, where they have the absolute remit for the conduct of elections.
A.G. Williams said that President Granger is prepared to meet with the opposition leader. The next hearing will be on Friday, March 15. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge met recently and engaged members of the Guyanese diaspora in St. Kitts and Nevis. During the meeting, Minister Greenidge briefed attendees on several topics, including the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy, the developing oil and gas sector in Guyana, and the current political climate following the December 21 vote. Attendees also had an opportunity to discuss matters relating to the movement of Venezuelan migrants across the border, Guyana's maritime space, and the development of human capital and infrastructure. The meeting was organized on the sidelines of the 30th Intersessional Meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, which was held on February 26 to 27 in St. Kitts and Nevis. We will provide more information on the meeting in a subsequent newscast. A humanitarian action for children received $105 million through UNICEF Guyana office for the provision of water, education, and other support. The funding is expected to aid in building the capacity of all agencies involved in assisting Venezuelan migrants in Guyana.
The money granted will cater for water and sanitation through the Guyana Water Incorporated for hardware, assist the Ministry of Education to build schools' capacity and hygiene promotion for Venezuelan migrants. Ian Jones, Emergency Officer of UNICEF Guyana, added that the focus is on 12,000 migrants, 4,800 of which are children living in Regions 1 and 7. In combating issues like child abuse and child labor among migrants, Jones said they are working with the Ministry of Social Protection to strengthen their manpower in those areas.
Also with this NGO called Blossoms, who are looking to have one-stop shops for reporting on child abuse. So it's really the case where we're looking to support building up the capacity, and then the incidents will be reported through the regular systems.
Venezuelan migrants are coming to Guyana mainly from Delta Amacuro and the Bolivar State. Through this initiative, one of UNICEF's focus is to improve host communities in light of the influx of Venezuelan migrants to Guyana. This is part of the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, for the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 2, 3, 4, and 6, which looks at wiping out hunger, good health, quality education, and clean water and sanitation. A multi-agency coordination committee, led by Minister of Citizenship, Winston Felix, meets every fortnight to address the issue of the migrants in Guyana. Reporting for InfoHub, Kippany Jordan.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge and President of the Republic of Estonia, Her Excellency Kersti Kaljulaid, on Wednesday met on the margins of the 30th intersessional meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community in St. Kitts and Nevis. The two held discussions on several issues and areas of cooperation, including Estonia's support to Guyana in the field of e-governance and information and communications. This followed an offer of support from the government of Estonia to CARICOM to help build its capacity in e-government. More on this story can be found on our website. President's College is set to receive major upgrades to its farm as part of the Ministry of Agriculture's Rural Agriculture Infrastructure Development Program.
President's College is set to benefit from the construction of a shade house as well as the upgrading of its farm access roads under the RAID project backed by the Caribbean Development Fund. This announcement was made by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Noel Holder.
Under this project, you'll undertake the rehabilitation of the President's College Farm to promote and develop climate-resilient agricultural programs in schools. The sum of $44.3 million to upgrade farm access roads, construction of a shade house and perimeter fencing, and the establishment of 11 acres of passion fruit, an orchard, beans, and 15 acres of pasture with corresponding irrigation systems.
The Agriculture Sector Development Unit will also be purchasing heavy-duty equipment to facilitate these works.
The Agriculture Sector Development Unit has purchased heavy equipment to facilitate the rehabilitation works. These include excavators, bulldozers, tractors, and farm implements, using the rationale that these will strengthen the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority's capabilities for rehabilitation of drainage and irrigation systems.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
Social Cohesion Ministry hosts interfaith sensitization exercise and former Royal Marines Commando arrives on Guyana's shores. The details of these and other news when we return.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Welcome back. The first interfaith sensitization exercise was held in Bartica. This is an initiative of the Department of Social Cohesion.
As part of the Ministry of Social Cohesion's 2019 work program, representatives of faith-based organizations in Bartica gathered on Wednesday to host a sensitization exercise to foster tolerance in the community. Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton told the representatives that their involvement plays a critical role in the ministry's mission to promote peace, harmony, and social cohesion.
We know for a fact that regardless of the many superficial things that divide us as a people, religion has always been promoted the common message of love, harmony, peace, and I don't want to say brotherhood because of the gender issue, but I say brotherhood and sisterhood. It is a globally recognized fact that inclusion, respect for diversity, and peaceful dialogue are essential for the survival of humanity.
The minister noted that this led to the ministry's decision to focus on strengthening ties with the interfaith community across Guyana. InfoHub spoke to some of the representatives about the sessions.
I think we did end on a very high note in the sense that we've been able to set up a committee which would be headed by the regional coordinator for social cohesion, and that community will endeavor to reflect the concerns of the community.
I believe that there is some amount of social cohesion that exists in Bartica to a great extent. People seem to have a lot of tolerance for each other, and we also are hoping that as we continue to have these kinds of conversation and discussions, that it will lead to a productive outcome in Bartica and its environs.
Those also present at the sensitization exercise were Acting Coordinator Natasha Singh Lewis, Chairman Gordon Bradford, Regional Social Cohesion Officer Elizabeth Moon Sami, among others. Reporting from the township of Bartica, Neola Damon, InfoHub.
To raise awareness about the Commonwealth and raise funds for charities and foundations, Richard Allen, a former Royal Marines Commando of the British Army, rode from the shores of Sierra Leone, West Africa, to Guyana.
Allen arrived in Guyana around sunset on Wednesday, February 27, 2019. Speaking to the media moments after docking at the Harbour Masters Boathouse in Georgetown, he explained the purpose of his journey.
It's all about trying to raise awareness and change common misconceptions about the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth isn't about politics or politicians or anything like that in any way. It's all about people. It's about 2.4, all of us, 2.4 billion of us. We should really be coming together to help each other.
During a press briefing at the Guyana Tourism Authority's boardroom earlier today, the Guyana Foundation representative, Supriya Singh Bodin, said Allen will be raising awareness on the foundation's work and the environment.
In our discussions, both Richard and I, we talk so long and so deeply about the fact that the natural beauty and the natural flora and fauna of Guyana and the seas, that is one of the most important resources that we possess. And how do we begin a program of education?
According to Allen, this project will create collaboration among schools across continents.
Like I said, we've created a network of children learning about each other and working together. I think that would be an amazing thing, because children are growing up to say, we're not just isolated on our own, we're now kind of got friends and we're working on something together with someone.
During his visit, Allen will be visiting the various project sites of the Guyana Foundation as well as several schools. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Santa Rosa in Region 1 is actively working to revive its once thriving coffee industry following a $25 million investment from the coalition government.
Upon being granted the opportunity to venture into an economic project, the residents of Santa Rosa came together and opted to revive their coffee industry. They are not being left to handle things on their own, as they are being assisted in the venture by coffee specialist Leroy Santiago out of Mexico. One of the farmers explained that Santiago has been providing the know-how with regards to soil preparation.
He brought in the Promix, which is a special soil a humus that is recommended for coffee, and that we are mixing here. We mix in the creek sand from the creek, a topsoil that is around here, just the topsoil, the black sand. And then we have the burnt paddy with the chicken mole that he brings from the coast, that he brought from the coast, and dry paddy shells. We mixed it together, and that's what you're seeing down there.
Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe, explained that 15 farmers from the 11 satellite communities will receive 800 plantlets per acre.
This is where we'll start building the facility and start to furnish it and so on, but mostly to build the facility, the processing facility. It's a 3-year project, and the coffee would be at least within 2.5 years it would bear. So we want to be ready when it bears to process it. So what we want to market is Santa Rosa indigenous ground coffee.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates and visit our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.